You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Days of Our Lives fans, I've got your early weekly spoilers for June 2nd through the 6th. John Black's funeral is going to bring some huge returns as it shocks and saddens all of Salem, and Bo Brady is going to wake up. It's a miracle and a loss. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we've got sad stuff coming next week. As we always do on Early Edition Day, we're going to start with what's coming the rest of this week. And if you haven't, please click that subscribe button. On Wednesday, May 28th, we've got Belle Black completely focused and intent on making an arrest in the case of Phillip's assault. And of course, Belle has a personal tie to Phillip. You know, they were into each other at one point. And so in addition to her official role as district attorney, Kate Roberts is quite certain that Xander Kiriakis did the deed and beat her son. And of course, we all know that he did. So Belle circles around to Alex Kiriakis, who worked with Phillip and Xander, to get his take on whether Phillip's assault might have been done by Xander and how the two were getting along. And of course, there's information that a lot of people in law enforcement don't have. And of course, that is about the fraud that Phillip perpetuated. Now, some people do know and are sitting on this secret, and I believe Belle is one of them. So she knows about this, but I don't think she's going to want to bring it up to Jada or anybody, because hopefully Phillip wakes up and she doesn't want to see him go to jail. So this is a tough position for Alex to be in. Meanwhile, Johnny is upset about many things, including Grandpa John being in critical condition. And of course, he's still dealing with the emotional fallout from the fact he held a gun on his dad, EJ, plus some marital stress. But thankfully, Chanel is there and fully supportive of him. Also on Wednesday, Christy Clark returns as Carrie Brady to see John, who was her dad for a moment back when he thought he was Roman. And she's going to be in town to comfort Marlena. And of course, Carrie will be crying over John's sad fate. And the hope seems dimmer by the day, and probably going to be cliffhanger Friday when we have John pass away, but we'll see. Roman and Kate have a serious chat. She wants to see Xander arrested for assaulting her precious Phillip, and she is about to get what she wants. And of course, Kate never doubted for a moment that Xander was to blame. Thursday, May 29th, EJ and Xander both go before the Board of University Hospital to make their pitch to buy. EJ is looking to invest as an individual, while Xander brings the buying power of Titan and DiMera together, and it's looking good for him. But then something changes. Once EJ and Xander make their pitches, it's a waiting game. And initially, Kayla was hoping it would be Xander, not EJ, but she may wind up not liking either candidate. And because Belle talked to Alex, she feels like she's ready to move. She takes the info she got to Jada Hunter, and it's time to slap on some handcuffs. So DA Belle green lights what Jada does, and she trots up to the hospital and arrests Xander for the assault of Phillip Kiriakis. Meanwhile, Kate's son remains unconscious and probably will for a week, week and a half, possibly 2 weeks more, while other stories take front burner. Brady asks Kristen for something, but she refuses. It's about Reckell. But what does Brady want that Kristen won't give him? Maybe Brady wants to take Reckell up to the hospital to see John before he's gone. We're also going to see Julie catching up with Maggie, who is furious at Xander, while Julie remains furious at Doug 3. And of course, Maggie's got to tell her that Sarah and Xander split up, and oh yeah, Phillip was beaten, likely by her son-in-law. On Friday, May 30th, we have Chandler Massey back. He returns 2 days at the end of the week as Will Horton. And of course, Greg Vaughn's back as Eric Brady. Lots of returns, lots of other people coming to Salem to say goodbye to John Black before he passes away. And then once he passes, even more people back for the funeral. Will's daughter, Ariana Horton, is already back, and I expect Will and Gabby have an interesting chat about Ari's behavior. She snuck out to shag a stranger and then lied to Mama Gabby's face. Meanwhile, Johnny's feeling increasingly alone. There's just too much stress after just what happened with EJ and with John is just a lot. Speaking of his dad, EJ has to deal with Kristen, who is all up in his face confronting him because this week, Reckell tells Kristen about seeing EJ arguing with Johnny and that EJ's son had a gun. So I would expect Kristen to accuse EJ of protecting Johnny at all cost. And of course, EJ does actually think his son shot him. I think it's Reckell. June 2nd through the 6th, we'll be getting even more people gathering in town this week as Salem gets ready to say a sad goodbye to John Black. Will is already back, as are Eric and Carrie. Look also for Anna and Tony DiMera back for the funeral service. It's going to be very sad. Watch the actors bringing their real life grief to these moments. Drake Hogestyn was alive, but he was very sick when this was filmed. Marlena and John's loved ones support her after she loses her beloved. Lots more flashbacks and memories shared. Everyone's gonna share a look back with John. Julie's there to support her, as are Kayla, Steve, Belle, Sean, Brady. Sammy's back in town. Lots of other people. There's going to be just an incredible outpouring of love. And look for news about Bo Brady's recovery, because he got the miracle drug thanks to John. Everybody's talking about how heroic he was, and if not for him, then Bo wouldn't even have a chance to possibly recover from sepsis. And everybody is just focused on the sepsis. They're not even thinking about the coma, but that is going to change as well very soon. Now, Hope and Sierra are going to be thrilled to share the news that Bo has recovered from sepsis, and not long after that, he's going to wake up as part of this whole treatment protocol. And the big question is whether when Hope comes to Salem for John Black's funeral, will Bo be at her side? Will he be on his feet walking and talking? Let's hope so. We know that EJ has not recovered all his memories of the night that he was shot. His confrontation with Kristen and things that Reckell told her may be the key to unlocking more about that night and jogging his memories loose. But this is going to be something else that's going to have to take a back seat until after the funeral. But we have heard from our leaker that EJ gets the hospital deal after Xander's arrest, basically by default. So EJ will be happy, Xander will be bummed, but the main thing was getting that medication to Bo. Phillip also is going to be slid onto the back burner, and we're likely not going to see Kate's son awake until after John Black's funeral. And when Phillip does wake up, that's going to be a big help to Xander. We'll see if he gets bail or he has to sit in the Salem jail until his brother wakes up and decides if he will press charges. Our leaker told us, by the way, that Phillip will not be pressing charges, and he is going to make amends to Xander, and they are going to rebuild their brotherly relationship. So that's one little positive silver lining to all this. But the big news is the very sad death and funeral of John Black.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.